The more you see these types of cases, it just drives you to a point where, you're going to go numb because the more this stuff happens, the less likelihood that anything is going to be done about it from a fundamental standpoint. There really needs to be a destruction and rebuilding of the way policing is done here in America, especially when it comes to black people. Now, in case you don't know, a couple weeks ago, a woman by the name of Sonya Massey was victimized in her own home at the hands of a race soldier going by the name of Sean Grayson. This is the victim here. This is Sonya Massey. This woman was gunned down in her own home. But you don't hear or see that Chrome Dome Van Jones going on TV crying about this. What's up, Mike Lewis? Now, he can cry all day about a funky ass white supremacist, but he won't cry about this. And this happened way before Biden decided to not run again for re-election. So, I'm going through a timeline of events. So, 12:50 a.m. July 6, 2024, two Sangamon County Sheriff's deputies, including Sean P. Grayson, the man who was at the center of the victimization of Sonya Massey. This is the perpetrator right here. This is the damn perpetrator right here. They were called to home in the 2800 block of Hoover Avenue in the unincorporated part of Woodside Township for a possible intruder. Because it was Sonya Massey who made the 911 call. She appeared to be calm, not aggressive, but she was unwell. While another deputy was clearing the house, Grayson began aggressively yelling at Massey to put down a pot of boiling water she removed from her stove, although he had given her permission to do so. Now, despite being in another room, Grayson drew his weapon and threatened to shoot Massey in the face. According to documents, Massey put her hands up in the air, said, "I'm sorry," and ducked for cover. That's when Grayson fired 3 shots, hitting Massey once in the face. Deputies reported the shots being fired at 1:21 a.m. on July the 6th. 26 minutes later, Massey is taken to the HSHS St. John's Hospital emergency room where she's pronounced dead, according to Sangamon County Coroner Jim Allman. 9:20 a.m. on July the 6th, Sangamon County issues its first statement about the case. By this time, the case had been referred to the Illinois State Police by Sheriff Jack Campbell. Now, Coroner Jim Allman said that Massey died of a single gunshot wound according to autopsy findings. 3 days later, on July 11th, Ben Crump had been retained for the services of the family of Sonya Massey. The next day, on July the 12th, there was a 2-hour protest at the Sangamon County building demanding the release of body cam footage and transparency. And more protests occurred on July the 15th and the 16th. July 17th, the Massey family members reviewed the body cam footage of the sheriff's deputies. A Sangamon County grand jury indicted Grayson on 5 counts, including 3 counts of first-degree murder. He is arrested and surrenders to police. He's also was fired as a deputy as well. So the body cam footage was released yesterday, and there was a protest rally that drew about 200 supporters to the NAACP building. July 18th, Grayson makes a first appearance in the Sangamon County Court before presiding Judge Brian Cadigan. Grayson pleads not guilty to all 5 counts. Cadigan denied Grayson's petition to be released according to the Pretrial Fairness Act. So he tried to be released from prison or from custody, but he ain't getting out. He's not getting out. He could be in custody until his trial. Because that animal don't need to be released from the cage anyway. On July the 19th, Sonya Massey's funeral was being held at the funeral services chapel. Utilizing Massey was Benjamin Crump. Said the body cam footage would shock the conscience of America. 2 p.m. yesterday, the scheduled release of the sheriff's body cam footage. 3 p.m. there was a scheduled peace march on in Massey's memory from Pleasant Grove Baptist Church to Tacoma Cox Park on South Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. So, this man right here, you don't need to see another day out in society. This man right here is a cold-blooded killer. There was no need for this man to pull out his gun because the woman was not a threat. Oh, and to my moderators, if any troll coming here talking dumb shit, get their ass up out of here. If any troll comes in here talking stupid shit, get their ass out of here. Period. You got a wrench, use it, or I will take it away. Because I'm not tolerating none of this stupidity. The fact of the matter is, this man had no business pulling out his gun under no circumstances. And then, this man has had a history. He's had a history of incidents on his on his name. I'm about to show y'all. Because I don't understand why these police officers who continue to get in trouble, and yet they can go from job after job after job after job after job. I want y'all to see this for Sean Grayson. Look at the incidents. This man employee's history. This man has worked for 4 different police officers in 6 years. And you can see in 3D occasion, this man has resigned. He also, according to the investigator, according to the Erica K. Wilson, right? I'm gonna give her credit for her investigative work. This man had 2 DUI convictions. Oh, let me get this out the way. Look at the string of the incidents this man has been involved in. And he's either left for whatever pretenses it was, he resigned, and then here at the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office, he was terminated for cause, basically meaning he can never work as a police officer again. But then again, he ain't got to worry about being a police officer because he'll never have freedom again. So he was appropriately charged. None of this shit about manslaughter. He was appropriately charged for murder. This woman was murdered in her own home by police. This is shades of Breonna Taylor. This is shades of Tatiana Jefferson, where you have tax-paying citizens being murdered in their own home by police officers. Now, in the case of Tatiana Jefferson, a neighbor called 911. Somebody in the neighborhood called 911, and I forgot the officer's name, but he went to Tatiana Jefferson's house, shot through the window, and ended up killing her. Sonya Massey actually called for assistance, and she's in a box right now. No thanks to this funky ass white supremacist right here. No thanks to this dude right here. So what the use of calling for police? What the use of calling the police if it's going to result in you getting murked by the police? And this is why, more often than not, people take the law into their own hands because they don't trust the cops. The more I think about these type of stories, the more it really pisses me off. Because a lot of these cops are anti-black racists. And it really needs to be a vetting process of before these guys get hired, every so often while they're on the job, right? I say, but at least every year there needs to be a reevaluation of these police officers or whatever like that. And if they're supposed to be held to a higher standard, then how come these guys always getting involved in incidents and then they're allowed to resign before they get fired for cause, and then they could be allowed to reapply at another district or in another state or in another town? And they just take their bad habits with them. Sonya Massey should be alive right now. There should not be protests from a group of people outside of a city hall or outside of a courthouse or outside of a police station that say her name. But instead, we have to say her name because the bullshit still continues. Now, once again, Van Jones, you chrome dome, where the fuck are you at crying about this? When you was behind the scenes working with Jared Kushner and the Trump administration on police reform, why are you not screaming to the high heavens about this? You got black folks getting gunned down by police officers in their own fucking homes. And yet Van Jones ain't nowhere to be found. But let Biden step down from re-election, or in the worst case scenario, Biden ends up kicking the bucket, and Van Jones is going to have a lifetime supply of Kleenex at the ready. What's up, Eric? What's up, y'all? I see y'all in the building, man. Hit that like button. Eric ain't got a wrench? Go ahead and fix that. And this is disgusting. And then another thing that really pissed me off about these police officers, they'll sit up here and lie on police reports. These cops will lie on police reports. They'll sit up here and commit perjury on these police reports. Now you see why we want qualified immunity to end? Do you see why we need qualified immunity to end? And yet we can't get them tangibles. And yet, do I expect Kamala Harris to come out and be the strong advocate for police punishment? Because you can't reform a race soldier. You cannot reform a white supremacist. They can only be punished. I don't expect Camel Toe, to come out and be the strong advocate against police violence. She is bought and paid for by the police union because this woman was a former prosecutor out in San Francisco. So no, I don't expect her to come out and be this strong advocate for police accountability, right? You Democrats got in office. What happened to the George Floyd policing act? What happened to the Police Accountability Commission that Biden promised when he was in office? Oh, yeah, by the way, I can see why we didn't get that Police Accountability Commission when Biden took office, because his cognitive decline kicked in. And the George Floyd policing that, well, he just kicked that can to Congress, and Congress took that can and put it in the trash. And this is the only time you're going to see that dry ass perm wearing having ass Al Sharpton saying anything or doing anything. I can see that he don't advocate for black people unless they're in a box, and then when it's funeral time, then he want to show his face like he doing something. And why is this man not charged with a hate crime? Because see, while it was good he was charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, why is this man not charged with a hate crime? Because I'm pretty sure if you peel that onion back, there's some anti-black racist rhetoric that's going on with him. I'm pretty sure it won't take much to peel back the onion, and there's some anti-black racism that's all up in this man's DNA. So you mean to tell me, Sean Grayson, you funky ass white supremacist? So let me get this straight. A pot of boiling water was enough for you to pull your gun out and shoot this woman 3 times, hitting her once in the face. A pot of boiling water? Really? A pot of boiling water? Gets on my damn nerves. I'm not even going to play the video. I'm not going to play the video because it's already graphic and it's already nerve touching as it is already. So I'm not going to play the video. Normally I would play the video and I would give you a breakdown of what happened and all that, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just not going to play the video. And unfortunately, as long as we got people out here who enable, who defend this bullshit's going to continue. As long as we got police unions, continue to be kicking off these politicians and all that, this bullshit's still going to continue. The whole fucking system as we know it needs to be destroyed and rebuilt. Period. You guys let me know what y'all think, man. If you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. I want justice for this woman. That motherfucker, Sean Grayson, don't need to see the light of day ever again. He don't need to see the light of day ever again. And I'm glad that that judge denied his bail. For what? What he need to be out for? So he can be a flight risk? So he be a threat to society again? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. That motherfucker can stay right where he at. And it really needs to be a vetting process. And I'm talking about before they get hired, and then not only that, after they get hired, there needs to be a continuous vetting process, right? Make sure they're on the up and up. Shouts out to the LDBC. This your man. Scream at me. Ho!